wanted to start by exploring the real life impacts of a lack of public washrooms and limited availability, and start first of all with the health risks. We are, after all, in the midst of a pandemic. Health is at the forefront of everyone's minds. Tony, you've got some thoughts about the health risks of not having enough public washrooms available.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I guess there are a number of different reasons why this is an issue. I mean, first of all, there are a number of people who have medical conditions, which means that they have to use the toilet frequently. And if they don't know where the toilets are or they're restricted, they are very restricted in where they can venture out. I mean, sometimes it's called loo leash because it means you can only go as far as the toilet you know. So that has a major restrictions for anybody such as that. But the other thing is just everybody in general. I think there's some interesting. We did some research with the RSPH, and I think they found that over half the population restrict their fluid intake because they're concerned about are they going to be able to find a toilet. So deliberate dehydration isn't very good for you. I mean, you know, the extreme, it can cause weakness, dizziness, reduced physical performance. I've got a whole long list here. Reduced short memory, depression, constipation, all sorts of different health issues. You know, the fact that you're having to hold it in. And then I guess sort of finally, if you're going to put it into 3 different sections, I would say sanitation is the other key thing. That the reason why public toilets were set up in the 19th century was to sort of, you know, stop public urination and etc. And you know, without toilets, that's you know, going to be a real issue.
Of course, public toilet is a major public health intervention, aren't they?
Absolutely.
Karen, MD UK represents people with a particular type of condition. How can a lack of facilities affect the people that you represent?
Okay, so when it comes to obviously our changing places users, then obviously we can completely echo everything that Tony said in terms of the dehydration, because obviously whilst we're talking about public toilets, there's even fewer changing places out there as well. So the changing places toilets obviously are required by probably over 250,000 people, but sometimes they have to travel a couple of hours to find a suitable toilet that has the relevant equipment for them. And often at the minute they can also be closed as well due to COVID restrictions. So lots of our users have the health implications, like I said, having to hold the bladder intake, the dehydration issue, obviously causing infections. I mean, some of our users have had to go to the extremes, having to have operations and surgery to have, you know, stomas fitted and different things because they just can't find suitable toilets when they go out. You've also got on top of that the issues of, you know, people that may have to wear pads. They can't have their pads changed if they're having to travel for hours to find a suitable toilet as well. So the hygiene issues and health issues are really exacerbated for a lot of our changing place users if they can't find a decent toilet, which at the minute there's probably only just about 1,500 across the whole of the UK. So we expect to be able to walk down the street and use a public toilet, you know, but for our changing places users, they sometimes have to travel hours to find a toilet.
You know, BTA is a major champion of good public washrooms and growing the number of public washrooms. For you, Raymond, it's about dignity, isn't it?
It's very much about dignity and health and well-being and social inclusion and equality and working with public toilets. So we all have a human right to clean water and sanitation. It comes through the European Commission, whatever. And really, you know, if we expect people to go out and move about the country, go and visit friends, go to work, travel around, whatever, then these people are going to need to, we're all going to need to have a public toilet. And when we find a public toilet, that toilet has to be fit for purpose. It has to be hygienically clean. It has to be ready and fit for people to go into. And I think Karen put it very well. Health and hygiene are the 2 biggest things, particularly with this COVID thing that we have now. Hygiene has been escalated right up the scale. And we've got to find a way of making sure that these units are complete as they are. But in our everyday lives, we have to do 5 things. We have to eat, sleep, drink, breathe, and go to the toilet. And failure to do any of those 5 things, we can become very sick. We can become dizzy and disorientated, as Tony was saying, or we can go into high blood pressure, even stroke, heart attack, and it can actually be fatal. So carrying about poisons in our body is not a good thing. We have to dispense them. We have to get rid of them. And public toilets are just an absolute necessity to each and every one of us in the right place.
So I think we've summarised quite neatly there that really people are at the heart of this issue.